You ever do that thing? Late at night, you're staring at your bank account, and you're just wondering, where does it all go? You know you work hard, you're not going crazy with your spending, but somehow you're in the exact same spot you were a year ago, maybe even 5 years ago. Well, let's get into this, because the answer is probably not what you're thinking.
Right? This is the big question. It really feels like you're on a financial hamster wheel. The paycheck hits, the bills come out, you buy a few things, and poof, it's gone. It's a super frustrating cycle. But what if the solution has way less to do with how much you make and way more to do with something you control every single day?
And that's it, right there. That's the secret sauce. Building wealth isn't some crazy investment strategy or one lucky break. Nope. It's the simple results of tiny, consistent, daily actions. Actions that either build you up or quietly bleed your account dry. So, to really see this play out, let's meet two people heading down two very different roads.
So on one side, we've got poor Peter. He's kind of caught in that cycle of living for the moment, and because of that, he's just stuck. And on the other side, we've got Rich Richard. He makes different choices every day, little choices that build for tomorrow, and eventually create total financial freedom. Throughout this explainer, we're going to see just how these habits create two completely different lives.
So, where does their journey split? Where do these two paths diverge? It all starts with the very first step, or, the lack of one. This is all about breaking inertia and realizing that wealth flows towards one thing, and one thing only: action.
The very first habit that changes the entire game is this: stop waiting and start moving. Look, money just gravitates to people who are already in motion. You could have the world's most perfect color-coded plan, but if you're just sitting there waiting for the perfect time to start, you've already lost. Building wealth rewards action, not just thinking about action. And the biggest enemy of motion? It's this thing called analysis paralysis. You know what I'm talking about? It's that voice in your head that says, oh, I just need to read one more book, or I'll start after I watch one more video. But let's be real. Preparation without action is just a fancy name for procrastination. It completely kills your momentum before you even get started. So what's the play? Just break the pattern. Honestly, the action itself is way less important than the act of just starting. Go open a high-yield savings account right now. Transfer $10 into it. Set up a tiny automatic investment. Do something, anything, to get that ball rolling. Because motion creates momentum, and that's where the results come from.
Okay, so you're in motion. Great. Now we're heading into the next big battleground, managing what comes in versus what goes out. This is it. This is the place where wealth is either won or completely lost.
And this brings us right to habit number 2. Live below your means. No matter what. I know, it sounds so obvious. But this is the one habit that most people break, like, every single day. The goal isn't just to not have debt. It's to intentionally create a big fat gap between what you earn and what you spend. And the biggest threat is lifestyle inflation. That thing where you get a raise, and suddenly your spending magically rises to meet it. It keeps you trapped. And the math on this, wow, it's absolutely staggering. Let's say Peter and Richard have the exact same income. Peter manages to save just 4%. Richard pushes himself to save 10%. Day to day, that doesn't feel like a huge difference, right? But over 30 years, Richard ends up with over $250,000 more. Same income, just different daily habits.
Let's make it even more real. Say they both make $60,000 a year. Richard socks away $10,000 a year, while Peter only manages to save $1,000. The wealth gap after just 20 years is a mind-blowing $420,000. This isn't magic, people. It's just the brutal, beautiful math of being consistent. Which brings up a pretty important question. Where in the world do you find that extra money to save?
And the answer brings us to habit number 7. You've got to track every single dollar. I know it sounds tedious, but trust me, it's one of the most powerful things you can do for your finances. Most of us, we have no idea where our money actually goes. We know the big stuff like rent and car payments, but hundreds, sometimes thousands, just vanish into this financial fog of small purchases. And you cannot plug a leak if you can't see it.
But the moment you start tracking, you find the culprits. Oh yeah, you find that $300 a month on food delivery, the $150 on subscriptions you totally forgot you had, the $200 in little impulse buys here and there. Added up, that's $650 a month. That's over $7,800 a year that could have been working for you instead of disappearing. Now, managing money is huge, but true wealth creation goes deeper. It's about growing your two most critical assets. And funny enough, neither of them is actually money. It's your mind and your time.
So, this is habit number 3. Feed your mind, not your phone. Seriously, what you put into your brain every day basically determines your entire financial future. Spending 30 minutes reading a book about investing is going to do way more for you than 3 hours scrolling through social media. One is an investment, the other is basically a consumption tax on your future.
And just look at how this knowledge compounds. Richard, he just dedicates 30 minutes a day to learning about money. Over 10 years, that's more than 1,800 hours of financial education. Poor Peter, he spends that same time just consuming entertainment. The difference in their paychecks down the road isn't luck, it's a direct result of that huge knowledge gap.
And just like you invest in your knowledge, you have to invest your time. This is habit number 5. Guard your time like it's money, because it's your single most valuable, non-renewable asset. You can always make more money. You can never make more time. Most people just give it away for free on things that provide zero value, and then they wonder why they're not getting ahead.
Think about this. You get roughly 100,000 working hours in your entire life. That's it. It's a finite number. So how you decide to spend those hours, on low-value stuff or on high-value skills, that literally determines your entire lifetime earning potential.
Okay, so you've got the mindset down, you're protecting your assets. Now it's time to build a system that does the heavy lifting for you, a machine that builds your wealth even when you're not paying attention. This is all about taking your own unreliable human brain out of the equation. This is where so many people with good intentions totally fail. Which brings us to habit number 4, automate your good behavior. See, they rely on willpower to save and invest each month, but willpower is like a battery. It runs out. Meanwhile, the temptation to spend, that's infinite. The only solution is to build a system that makes saving and investing the default setting. Just automate it. Set it and forget it.
And while that automated system is working for you in the background, you should be building your own personal income fortress. This is habit number 6. Build multiple income streams. Relying on a single paycheck is like building your whole house on one single pillar. It's incredibly risky. Real financial security, that comes from having different sources of income. If one dries up, the others keep you going.
Richard, he still has his main job. That's the biggest piece of the pie. But he's also added a little freelance side hustle. And his investments are now starting to pay him too. So if he loses his job tomorrow, yeah, it's a problem. But it's not a complete catastrophe. He has other streams to fall back on, which gives him the breathing room to make a smart next move, not just a desperate one.
So we've covered all the habits: getting into motion, mastering your cash flow, investing in your mind and time, and building automated systems. But there's one final, much deeper shift that has to happen for any of this to actually stick.
And here it is. This is the real secret. Richard isn't just trying to save money. He is a saver. Poor Peter is always running on effort and willpower. The goal isn't just to do these habits, it's to become the kind of person who does these things automatically because it's just part of who you are.
And this is the whole journey. It starts with willpower. You know, that conscious effort to do something different? Then, with enough repetition, that action turns into a habit. But the final stage, the most powerful one, is when that habit just becomes part of your identity. You don't even think about saving anymore. It's just what you do. At the end of the day, knowing all of this is completely useless without action. You have the roadmap now. The choice to stay stuck after watching this, well, that's exactly what it is, a choice. So what's it gonna be? Pick one thing from this explainer, just one, and I want you to do it in the next hour. Break that inertia. The next move is yours.